What's up guys, welcome back to SV Astrology channel. So guys, in the last video we discussed about the fourth house in astrology and its importance in the astrology. So we were supposed to discuss about fifth house today, but I'm skipping that. I will make a separate video on fifth house maybe tomorrow, but today I'm going to discuss a very important topic in astrology, and that is called Dhan Yoga and Lakshmi Yoga in astrology. So in our last video we discussed about fourth house. We also covered first house, second house, third house, fourth house, and the basics of astrology and basics of all houses. So guys, if you want to know those details, and you please go and check out my video on YouTube just by typing in basics of astrology, or you can simply type in my name Shikhar Vats and you can access all my videos over there. So today we are going to discuss about Lakshmi Yoga and Dhan Yoga, and why I have decided to make this video. From now onwards I will be doing this, like I will be creating basics video on one hand and some advanced videos on the other hand, side by side. Why? Because the people who are well versed with these kinds of basics of astrology, and so they might not be interested in those videos, so they can get benefit from these advanced topic, and the people who have just started learning astrology can simply benefit from all the basic videos and then can come to these videos. So today's topic of discussion is Lakshmi Yoga and Dhan Yoga. And what is Lakshmi Yoga and Dhan Yoga? As the name signifies, these are the wealth yogas in a horoscope. So Lakshmi Yoga is the most powerful yoga, wealth yoga, which says that a person will have wealth in abundance throughout his life, like Bill Gates. Bill Gates has Lakshmi Yoga in his horoscope. So Lakshmi Yoga is rare, it's not in everybody's horoscope, but Dhan Yoga is like more common because it has more combinations. So like you can see Dhan Yoga in a lot of horoscopes. So again, coming back to Lakshmi Yoga. So Lakshmi Yoga is a very prominent and a strong yoga for wealth, for having a person to like have more like wealth in abundance in his life. So let's take this chart and I will explain you on this chart what is Lakshmi Yoga and what is Dhan Yoga and how they are formed. As you can see in this chart, this is a Leo ascendant chart in which Sun is in its own house, that is the first house, fifth house, and this is also called Lagna and Kendra house, Trikona house, and ascendant. Second house is Virgo, third is Libra, and so on till the fourth house, which is Cancer. So like I've just taken these planets as in random. This is not somebody's horoscope. I've just put it here just to explain you what is Lakshmi Yoga and Dhan Yoga. So for Lakshmi Yoga, three factors has to be in consideration. One is ninth house, second is your Lagna, your Kendra house, your Lagna or your first house, and third thing is the position of Venus. So if these three factors are very good in horoscope, then Lakshmi Yoga is formed. But how? Suppose as in this horoscope you can see that the ninth lord is placed in the ninth house. Ninth lord is Mars and it is placed in the ninth house. And your ascendant, your Lagna, is also placed in the first house, being the lord of first house. So this is a very powerful Lakshmi Yoga. And the third most thing, that Venus has to be strong in the chart. What do you mean by Venus has to be strong in the chart? Is either Venus should be in its small Trikona sign, either Venus is in the exaltation sign, or Venus is its own sign in Kendra or Trikona. So this becomes a very powerful Lakshmi Yoga, as being Mars sitting in its own house, being the lord of ninth house. Your ascendant lord is sitting in its own house, and Venus is very strong as it is sitting in its Mool Trikona sign. There are like other Lakshmi Yogas also which are not that much strong, but Lakshmi Yoga will still be there. But for Lakshmi Yoga to be strong, the position of first lord and ninth lord has to be like kept in mind, that these has to be really strong. Like one other way could be if Sun is placed here and Mars is placed here and Venus is here. So now we can see that the ninth lord and the first lord interchanges their houses with each other, but they are still in very strong position because Sun is now exalted in Aries and Mars is in Leo sign, which is again strong. It's in friend sign and in Kendra. And this house, you know, as the first house is Kendra and Trikona both. So this also becomes very important for Mars position. And Venus is again strong because it's an own sign, Taurus, and in the Kendra house, in the 10th house. So this is another kind of Lakshmi Yoga. Lakshmi Yoga can also be like, suppose uh, if your ninth and your first lord, sorry, is sitting together in one Kendra house, and Venus is either here or Venus is either here. This is also a Lakshmi Yoga. Another example of Lakshmi Yoga is if both of these planets are sitting in ninth house. This is a very strong Lakshmi Yoga. Why? Because Sun is exalted and Mars is sitting in its Mool Trikon sign, and Venus either in these houses is very strong. So this is a very powerful Lakshmi Yoga in a horoscope. Again, if Venus is not there, like these both planets are in this house and Venus is here. Now Venus is exalted in Pisces, but which house is this? This is your 8th house, which is a Dushtana house. So though Venus is exalted in this house, Sun is also exalted, Mars is in its Mool Trikon sign, but still it is not that powerful Lakshmi Yoga because Venus is in a Dushtana house. So it becomes little bad because Dushtana house is always bad. There will be some few ups and downs in the life which will give you wealth at certain time and take away the wealth at certain time. So this is not that strong Lakshmi Yoga. So suppose Venus is here now. I'll take Mars from here to its exaltation sign. Now Sun is exalted, Venus is strong, Mars is exalted. This is also a Lakshmi Yoga. But again, this is not a very strong Lakshmi Yoga. Why? Because Mars is in the 6th house, which is a Dushtana house, which is your enemy's house, which is your debts house. So again, obstacles house. So again, though Mars is exalted, Sun is exalted, Venus is strong, it is again a Lakshmi Yoga which will give you a lot of wealth in your life. But again, this is not that powerful Lakshmi Yoga. So guys, now you understand the concept of Lakshmi Yoga, that it is very important for Lakshmi Yoga. 3 things has to be important: your 9th lord, your first lord, and Venus. These 3 factors has to be very strong in the chart for a perfect Lakshmi Yoga. Okay, now this is about Lakshmi Yoga. Now what is a Dhan Yoga? For Dhan Yoga, there are 4 houses which are taken into consideration. That is 2nd house, 5th house, 9th house, and 11th house. Okay. Why these houses? Because this is the house of wealth, this is the house of gains, and these 2 are Mool Trikon signs. Oh sorry, Trikona houses. As I told you that 1st, 5th and 9th are Mool Trikon houses. 1st, 4th, 7th and 10th are the Kendra houses, and these are the most strongest houses in a horoscope. So suppose, now why this Dhan Yoga is common in like lot of horoscope? Because there can be a lot of combination with these 4 houses. How? If suppose the lord of 9th house, which is Mars, goes into 5th house, or the lord of 2nd house goes into 5th house, either the lord of 2nd house goes into 11th house, the lord of 5th house goes into 9th house, which is Jupiter. So if I place Jupiter here, Mars is here, Mercury is its own sign, but again the lord of 3rd and 6th house, 2nd house is same, and it is in its own sign. So this is also these are the combinations of Dhan Yoga. Maybe if let's say Mars is here, Jupiter is here, and Mercury in any of these houses, either here or here, then it is also Dhan Yoga. So it is not necessary that all of the houses has to, all houses has to interchange their positions. Only like suppose if Mercury suppose like here and maybe Jupiter is not here, just Mars is here and Jupiter is here. So even then it is a Dhan Yoga. Why? Because lord of 9th house is in the 5th house. Or maybe if Mars is not here, only Jupiter is here, Mars is here, this is also Dhan Yoga. Now again, if any of these lords like 2nd, 11th, 9th and 5th house conjunct in any of the Kendra houses, like suppose Jupiter and Mercury sitting in the Kendra houses in 4th house, 10th house, 1st house or 10th house, this is also a Dhan Yoga. If suppose Mars or Jupiter sitting in this house, this is also called a Dhan Yoga. So guys, lot of combination can be formed in any horoscope with these houses to see a Dhan Yoga. So this is with these houses you can see a Dhan Yoga, and with 1st house, 9th house and Venus, you can see sorry for the spelling, Lakshmi Yoga. And with these houses you can see Dhan Yoga. Also in any chart, if Venus is strong, then that is also an indication of good wealth. Why? Because Venus is a planet of luxuries and comfort. So Venus has to be strong in the chart for all these combinations of Dhan Yoga and Lakshmi Yoga. So guys, this is my interpretation on Dhan Yoga and Lakshmi Yoga. So if you guys like this video, please hit the like button. You can also subscribe to my channel. In our next video, we'll be going to discuss about some more yogas and like what are wealth giving planets in astrology. Also, we'll discuss about 5th house. So guys, if you like the video, please hit the like button, and you can also put in your comments and I'll try to answer them as correctly as possible. Also, you can email me your questions on my email address, that is shikhar.vats@gmail.com. So guys, keep watching my videos. Until then, goodbye.